Many of us, when we think about aging, picture it in terms of the slowing down of physical abilities, the onset of chronic conditions, and the natural decline of energy. However, if we look deeper into the causes of why people don't live much longer after 70, we must understand it goes beyond just the biological limitations of aging. There are psychological, social, and existential factors that come into play. These aren't just matters of genetics or fate. They are deeply intertwined with how we live our lives, the mindset we carry, and the meaning we derive from our daily existence. First, let us address the idea that people often stop seeing purpose in life after a certain age. Purpose is not something that simply arises out of our environment. It's something we cultivate, and it remains central to our well-being. As individuals age, particularly after 70, many find themselves faced with the dilemma of reduced social engagement. Their children may have left home, their professional lives might have ended, and their social circles may have shrunk. When there's no longer a compelling external reason to wake up in the morning, no role to fulfill, it's easy to fall into a state of quiet despair or apathy. And while society might praise the idea of retirement, the absence of work can become a hollow void for many, stripping them of a core sense of self. People often retire only to realize that they have no plan beyond that, no guiding principle or activity to fill the space left behind by the cessation of work. The question, therefore, is not how much time one has left, but what one does with that time. The most vibrant and successful older individuals tend to be those who find new reasons to push forward, whether it's learning new skills, taking up new hobbies, volunteering, or cultivating relationships. These activities give people a sense of purpose. It's not just about filling time, but about filling it with things that make life worth living. Without purpose, life's energy begins to drain away, and the person begins to lose the will to continue. When this occurs, physical decline often accelerates, and death becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The second reason many older people don't live long after 70 has to do with the mindset they adopt toward their own mortality. As we age, the inevitability of death becomes clearer, and for many, it's easy to adopt a mindset of helplessness or hopelessness. We start thinking about our limitations, our missed opportunities, and the time that has slipped through our fingers. If we fixate on the fact that we can't undo the past or change the future, we often lose the will to live in the present. This kind of fatalism can be incredibly damaging. It's as if the mind starts preparing for death before the body ever reaches that point. There's also the danger of turning inward excessively, focusing on the aches and pains that come with aging. When you dwell too much on what is wrong with your body, it becomes harder to notice what is still right about it. If the only conversations we have are about our ailments, then the world becomes a place of suffering, and we resign ourselves to the idea that life is just about surviving until we can no longer endure. In this mindset, death may seem like a release or even an escape from the discomfort and limitations of aging. However, those who embrace life's challenges with vigor, who refuse to succumb to the narrative of inevitable decline, often find themselves with greater vitality. They find ways to manage their bodies and minds, engage in physical activity, and challenge themselves to keep learning. By maintaining a sense of agency, they do not allow themselves to be passive victims of time. They refuse to let the clock dictate their value or worth. The mindset that one can still have an impact on their own life regardless of age can fundamentally shift the trajectory of their health and well-being. Lastly, there is the issue of social isolation, which tends to become more pronounced as people age. While younger generations may find themselves constantly surrounded by friends, family, and peers, the elderly often experience a quiet withdrawal from social life. As people age, they may begin to feel less relevant in the social sphere, especially as younger people take the forefront in the workplace, in social activities, and even in the media. This can lead to loneliness, which in turn becomes a silent killer. Human beings are social creatures, and isolation has profound psychological and physical consequences. The lack of social interaction can lead to depression, anxiety, and a lack of motivation, all of which can contribute to a decreased quality of life and ultimately premature death. Studies have shown that loneliness can be just as harmful as smoking or obesity, leading to higher rates of cardiovascular disease, immune system dysfunction, and increased susceptibility to illnesses. The solution, however, is not as simple as saying stay social. It's about cultivating meaningful relationships and interactions that make one feel valued and connected. As people age, they must strive to remain part of a community, whether it's through family, friends, or a greater social network. Social engagement isn't about mere activity or noise. It's about deep, fulfilling connections that provide comfort, joy, and shared meaning. When older individuals become engaged in their communities, when they feel needed and appreciated, their health improves, and their life expectancy increases. The relationships people foster throughout their lives, particularly in older age, often determine the quality and length of their remaining years. So, the question becomes, how do we age well? How do we ensure that we don't fall into the traps of purposelessness, fatalism, and isolation? It begins with understanding that aging is not just a physical process but a psychological and social one. It requires us to be intentional about our time, our mindset, and our relationships. We must seek meaning, cultivate purpose, and stay socially connected. In terms of purpose, it is essential to think beyond the immediate and material. Purpose can come from within, from the act of self-reflection, from the joy of learning and growth, from the ability to teach others and to share wisdom. In the absence of work, we can find other forms of meaningful engagement, whether it's through hobbies, creative pursuits, or community involvement. Mindset plays an equally significant role in the aging process. It's easy to allow the inevitability of death to cloud our perception of life, but it's also important to recognize that life is finite, and that makes it precious. By focusing on what we can do now, rather than lamenting what has been lost or will inevitably be lost, we can find satisfaction in the present moment. Life after 70 should not be defined by resignation, but by the freedom that comes with letting go of certain societal expectations and embracing new opportunities. Finally, we must recognize the profound impact of social engagement. Even as the body ages, the need for human connection remains fundamental. The friendships, family ties, and community bonds we nurture over the years can provide a foundation for health and vitality in old age. It is critical that we continue to build relationships, forge new connections, and remain part of a larger social fabric, lest we face the dangers of isolation. Aging is a challenge, yes. It brings with it inevitable losses, but it also offers opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. When people fail to adapt their mindset, when they lose their sense of purpose, or when they withdraw from the world socially, the final years can become a lonely and difficult journey. But those who find new ways to stay engaged, to create meaning, and to nurture relationships tend to live longer, healthier, and more fulfilled lives. In the end, living beyond 70 is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about carrying the fire of purpose, embracing life with a resilient mindset, and staying connected with others. The body may slow down, but the mind and spirit can remain as vibrant as ever if we allow them to. Through these simple yet profound actions, people can continue to contribute, grow, and enjoy life well into their later years, and avoid the traps that many fall into that limit their potential as they age. A lack of purpose is a key factor in why many older individuals experience a decline in both mental and physical health after 70. Without a guiding principle or meaningful daily activity, the drive to live diminishes. Embracing new roles, hobbies, or community engagement can foster a sense of purpose and keep the mind and body active. A mindset that focuses on limitations and the inevitability of aging accelerates physical and psychological decline. Maintaining a positive, growth-oriented mindset, along with staying socially connected, can significantly improve the quality of life, reduce loneliness, and increase longevity in older age. The role of purpose and meaning in our lives is something we often overlook until it begins to wane. As people age, particularly after the age of 70, the question of what gives life meaning becomes more pressing. In youth, we are often driven by external factors: career goals, family obligations, financial stability, or the desire for recognition. These external forces provide clear, tangible markers that guide our daily actions. However, as we enter the later years of life, many of these external motivators naturally diminish or change. Retirement, the empty nest, the passing of friends and loved ones, these all introduce a new stage of life that can feel disorienting. Without the external pressures and responsibilities, the internal compass guiding us can become lost. What happens when a person reaches this stage and the drive for external success is no longer present? The question of what remains, what still has meaning, becomes increasingly important. Purpose, at its core, is the reason why we get up in the morning, the force that drives us to engage with life, to contribute, to be present, and to continue evolving. When this sense of purpose is lost or eroded, it can lead to a deep existential crisis. As individuals approach the later stages of life, it is essential to recognize that purpose is not only about achieving great things or fulfilling societal roles. It is about finding fulfillment within oneself, regardless of one's external position. For many older individuals, purpose may have once been tied to their jobs, their roles as parents, or their responsibilities in the community. But when these roles change or end, the individual may find themselves questioning their worth or relevance. This is where the concept of purpose can be redefined not as a series of external expectations, but as a more internal, deeply personal drive. A sense of purpose doesn't need to be grand or public. It can simply be about finding meaning in daily actions, cultivating new interests, or nurturing personal relationships. The significance of purpose in later life isn't just theoretical. It has practical, measurable effects on health and well-being. Studies have consistently shown that people who feel a sense of purpose live longer and experience better health outcomes. Purposeful individuals tend to engage in more physical activity, experience lower levels of depression, and have stronger immune systems. In fact, research has demonstrated that having a sense of purpose is associated with a reduced risk of chronic conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, and dementia. In this sense, purpose serves as a protective factor against the natural decline that can accompany aging. As individuals approach the later stages of life, they are often encouraged to slow down or take it easy. While rest and relaxation are important, this advice can unintentionally undermine a crucial aspect of well-being: the need for continued engagement with life. When people no longer feel they have a reason to be active, whether mentally, physically, or socially, the inevitable result is often a decline in both physical and emotional health. The loss of purpose can lead to a stagnation of the spirit, a sense of fading into the background, and eventually a more rapid deterioration of the body. One of the key reasons that people without a strong sense of purpose struggle as they age is that it's hard to measure success without a clear goal. When we are younger, success is often marked by tangible milestones: graduating from school, getting a job, buying a house, raising children. These are all recognizable markers of a life well lived. But as we get older, the goalposts shift. There may no longer be a career to climb or children to raise. As a result, people often find themselves adrift, unsure of what they should strive for or what success even means at this point in their lives. Without clear external markers of success, people can struggle to feel validated, and this lack of validation can become a source of frustration and self-doubt. In the absence of external markers, the pursuit of internal goals becomes crucial. Rather than focusing on what's lost, youth energy and career individuals must begin to shift their focus to what they can still contribute, what new skills they can develop, and how they can continue to connect meaningfully with the world around them. One powerful way to foster purpose in later life is through the process of learning. The human mind has an incredible capacity for growth, even in old age. There is no too late to start learning something new. Whether it's learning a musical instrument, a new language, or how to paint, new experiences can provide the mind with the stimulation it needs to stay sharp and engaged. In fact, studies have shown that the act of learning new things can improve memory, increase cognitive function, and delay the onset of neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. The active L, our mindset, can either limit us or empower us. It has the ability to either make us feel trapped in the inevitable decay of age, or allow us to embrace the later years as a time for reinvention, fulfillment, and connection. The concept of growth is not something limited to youth. It should be seen as an ongoing process that transcends age. When older individuals are able to maintain a mindset focused on learning, discovery, and embracing new possibilities, they unlock a sense of vitality that counteracts the negative stereotypes that often accompany aging. In contrast, when individuals approach aging with a fixed or fatalistic mindset, viewing their life as something that has already passed its prime, they often experience a rapid decline, both mentally and physically. This mindset is especially crucial as we encounter the challenges of aging. It is common for people in their later years to experience significant life changes such as retirement, the loss of loved ones, or the onset of physical limitations. These changes can feel overwhelming, especially when coupled with the belief that aging marks the end of personal growth or new opportunity. But the truth is, it is never too late to challenge our mental frameworks and adopt a mindset that supports continued growth and engagement. The process of aging should not be seen as a sentence to decline, but as an opportunity for reinvention, reflection, and purposeful engagement. A key component of adopting a mindset that supports well-being is the belief in our own agency. Our capacity to influence our lives doesn't end with age. In fact, it can be heightened as we grow older. The older generations often possess a wealth of life experience, a rich store of knowledge, and emotional resilience that younger individuals may not yet have developed. This wealth of experience is an asset, something that can be used to not only navigate aging but to continue thriving. When older individuals maintain the belief that they have control over their lives, whether it's in their health, their daily choices, or their emotional responses, they are far more likely to engage with the world in a proactive way, rather than passively allowing life to pass them by. This internal sense of control is one of the strongest predictors of well-being in older age. One of the most dangerous mindsets that many older individuals fall into is the belief that they are too old to try new things. This belief often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When individuals believe they can no longer learn, create, or participate in the world in meaningful ways, they stop trying. They withdraw from new experiences, avoiding the discomfort that comes with change. Over time, this withdrawal becomes a habit, and they begin to feel increasingly disconnected from the world around them. However, research consistently shows that staying mentally and physically active is crucial for maintaining cognitive function and overall health. Older individuals who continue to pursue new skills, engage in activities they enjoy, or take on new challenges experience better mental health, greater satisfaction, and a slower rate of decline. The mindset of "I'm too old" prevents engagement. But the key to breaking this mindset is to remember that age is not a barrier to new experiences. New learning opportunities are everywhere, whether it's learning a new hobby, pursuing education, or simply exploring new interests. There are countless examples of individuals who have achieved great things in their later years, from writing books to starting businesses to engaging in physical feats. The ability to learn and grow doesn't diminish with age, and in fact, actively seeking out new experiences is one of the best ways to fight off the mental stagnation that can accompany getting older. However, mindset alone is not enough to maintain health and well-being as we age. Social engagement is just as essential, and the two, mindset and social connection, are closely intertwined. A positive mindset can open the door to social engagement, and strong social engagement can reinforce a healthy mindset. As individuals age, one of the most common challenges is the shrinking of their social network. Friends and family may pass away, children may move away, and mobility may become an issue, leading to social isolation. Loneliness is an insidious and often overlooked risk factor for physical and mental health problems. Studies have shown that social isolation increases the risk of heart disease, depression, cognitive decline, and even early death. This highlights the importance of intentionally nurturing social relationships, even as one ages. A positive mindset allows older individuals to remain open to social connections, despite the many challenges that aging presents. The belief that it's still possible to form meaningful relationships, to be of service to others, or to remain a vital part of one's community can be incredibly powerful. For example, older individuals who engage in volunteer work, become mentors, or maintain close relationships with their children and grandchildren often experience a greater sense of purpose, better emotional well-being, and a more positive outlook on life. Social connections provide emotional support, offer opportunities for shared experiences, and foster a sense of belonging. Without these connections, life can feel lonely, and the physical effects of isolation can take a toll on both mind and body. When we look at societies where people tend to live longer and healthier lives, such as in certain blue zones around the world, regions known for their higher than average life expectancy, social engagement plays a significant role. These communities tend to prioritize close-knit family structures, regular social activities, and a sense of community involvement. Social bonds are cultivated over a lifetime, and the elderly are not isolated from the broader society. In fact, they are often seen as invaluable sources of wisdom and experience. This intergenerational connection is crucial in creating a support system where people feel both needed and valued. Older individuals who have strong supportive social networks tend to live longer, have better physical health, and experience a better quality of life. Moreover, Social engagement goes beyond the quantity of relationships, it is also about the quality of these connections. It's not enough to simply have people around you, it's about engaging in meaningful, reciprocal relationships. The bonds formed through shared values, interests, and experiences are far more beneficial than superficial connections. For example, taking part in a community organization, joining a book club, or volunteering for a cause you care about can provide opportunities for deep, meaningful interactions. These connections create a sense of belonging and reinforce the belief that one's life has purpose. Technology can also play an important role in fostering social engagement for older adults. Many elderly individuals may feel disconnected from the world due to mobility issues or physical limitations. However, technology, when used properly, can bridge the gap. Video calls, social media, and online communities provide opportunities for maintaining relationships, keeping up with loved ones, and finding new ways to stay connected. The digital world, though often perceived as being for younger generations, can offer older individuals new ways to engage with their families, connect with others who share similar interests, and even participate in global conversations. Of course, maintaining social connections is not always easy. Physical limitations, health issues, or financial constraints can create barriers to social engagement, but overcoming these challenges is essential to the well-being of older adults. It is essential to seek out and create opportunities for engagement, whether that involves joining local clubs or online forums, participating in intergenerational programs, or simply making an effort to spend time with loved ones. The process may require creativity, effort, and sometimes a willingness to step outside of one's comfort zone. But the rewards are immense. Social engagement can be as simple as maintaining regular communication with friends and family. It can be as complex as taking part in community projects, getting involved in local politics, or becoming part of a larger cause. In all cases, the goal is to remain connected to the world, to continue to give and receive, and to experience life with others. This not only combats the feelings of isolation that can creep in with age, but also creates a sense of shared purpose and mutual support. A positive mindset and robust social engagement are two of the most powerful tools for promoting well-being as we age. Together, they create a dynamic that allows older individuals to continue contributing to the world, feeling fulfilled, and maintaining a sense of vitality. When we change our mindset, believing that it is never too late to learn, grow, and connect, we open up the possibility for continued growth, joy, and health. Through a commitment to these practices, older individuals can live rich, meaningful lives well into their later years, defying the conventional narrative that aging is a time of decline and instead embracing it as a time of possibility.